Happening right now, Hoosiers getting the coronavirus vaccine at IMS, including Governor Eric Holcomb and our very own Lindy Thaxton. All weekend long, the mass vaccination clinic will help thousands get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Live reports next.
And we are hearing from our own Lindy Thaxton. She was at IMS this morning and is now vaccinated. We're going to look at how the process was for her. Fox 59 Morning News at 9 starts now.
From Indiana's #1 news source, this is Fox 59 Morning News.
And let's give you that live look over IMS this morning. Hoosiers in line right now. They are getting that Johnson & Johnson vaccine at this mass clinic. This will be going on until 10 tonight. And again, now, Daniel, will last until Monday because they had some 17,000 people sign up.
A lot of people signed up for the mass vaccination, which is going on literally across the state, not only at IMS, but all the way up in South Bend as well.
Yeah, so we'll talk about all that straight ahead. First, though, we had to cut you off there a little bit ago talking about weather because the governor was speaking, Jim. People want to know about the weekend, though.
Well, they still can hang around another 15, 20 minutes, and you get that full forecast. We are looking at more sunshine out there. You saw it out at IMS and up in Carmel as well. It looks like another really quiet day, our 5th straight day here of dry weather. That will continue. That's a good way to open up the month of March. Now, we are trending a little bit colder, 7 degrees colder than early Thursday morning, but we're back to 30 now, and we'll continue to climb into the 40s later on today. So another seasonal afternoon shaping up. Quiet weather will certainly take it. Looks like it's going to stay that way into later on tonight. No big warm up, though, heading into today, much like it was on Thursday. Highs today topping out in the upper 40s. We'll talk more about that weekend forecast. We're going to break down Saturday and Sunday coming up. Daniel?
All right, Jim, thank you. Happening now, shots are going in arms at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for a mass vaccination clinic. Those who have appointments will get the newly approved Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Right now, the state health department is holding a news conference. We're going to take a listen in right now.
I know that these are tough times, and I know that people struggle sometimes with the anxiety associated with the timeliness of these vaccinations. But again, to reemphasize what my colleague Robin Shackelford said today, please, it is safe, it's something you need to do, and will help everybody. So thank you for having me, and have a great day.
By Monday night, nearly 17,000 Hoosiers will be vaccinated at IMS. And if you're coming today or later this weekend, you're being asked to come at your appointment time. There is no need to arrive early. You need an appointment to get a vaccine. All appointments have been filled. And around 7:45 this morning, we saw Governor Holcomb, who you see here, getting his vaccine at IMS. All of this happening from your car.
We know one person was in that line this morning, our very own Lindy Thaxton. You may remember that she is getting treatment for her colorectal cancer. She's joining us now on the phone to tell us about the process. First of all, Lindy, so good to hear from you. I love seeing your big smile this morning. How are you?
Oh my gosh, it's so good to hear your voice in my ear and not just through the TV. My arm is sore.
Yeah.
But so far that's it. And you know, I will say it hurt a little more than I expected, considering I've been like a pincushion for the past year.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's about it. The process was so smooth. I mean, I woke up pretty nervous, to be honest, you know, just not really knowing what to expect. And I got there and it just turned to excitement because you just pull into IMS and they are ready to go. You pull in, you show your ID, they look you up, they give you a different colored card to put on your windshield. And that tells you which direction to go.
Okay.
And then the yellow shirts are guiding you. And I mean, you get to pull up through the garages. You go right up into a garage to actually get your vaccine. And then they pull you into this line. They have written down on a piece of paper what time you got your vaccine, so they know exactly what time they can release you. And then you go parked into a line. They come through a couple times and ask you at your window if you're feeling okay. And then when it's time, you're released to go. And I was in and out of there in like 20, 25 minutes.
That was the biggest question I've got so far, Lindy. People are saying, well, how early should I get there? And we've been kind of telling people, well, don't go too much, too soon before your scheduled time because you don't want a big, traffic jam. What time did you get there for your appointment? What time was it again?
Well, here's what I did. My appointment was at 8:20, and Doug Bolts had put a video out on the IMS Twitter yesterday saying, don't get here within a 10-minute window,
Okay.
either before or after your time. So I left my house at like 7:30, and I got here at 8:05. So I pulled over into a parking lot a couple blocks away for like 5 minutes, and then I pulled right in. And so I was there about 10 minutes ahead of time, but they were good with that.
We're seeing all these beautiful pictures of you and your hubby and your family. We want you back here, girlfriend. We want you back.
I can't wait. I just finished chemo 8 this week. At the most, I'll have 4 more to go, and I cannot wait to get there.
There's your son. Get back in here. We miss you.
I'm working on it.
You're a warrior and a fighter, and we love you. We're glad you got your vaccine.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. All right, we want to also get now to some breaking news from earlier this morning on the near northeast side, where Metro Police say a man found shot to death in the 1800 block of Holloway Avenue. That is near Hillside Avenue and East 16th Street. This call came in just before 3 a.m. IMPD said they found a man lying in the street. He was pronounced dead. Police say that witnesses heard a fight before they heard gunshots. It's still very early in this investigation, but we know homicide detectives were there and called out. And IMPD is asking if you know anything to please call them at 317-262-TIPS. And now at 9:06, today is the visitation for the 3 siblings who died in a deadly fire in Miami County last week. Viewing services for 6-year-old Miracle and 5-year-old Steven and 1-year-old Wilma start at noon and will run until 8 o'clock tonight. Funeral services will be held tomorrow, and they start at 10 a.m. All of the services will be held at McGrawsville United Methodist Church in Amboy.
Also breaking right now, a car slams into a house on Indy's near northeast side. This happened just before 6 o'clock this morning on Manlove Avenue near 28th Street. Police tell us they believe this was a hit and run and that the owner of the house was not home when it happened, but someone was home at the time. There are a few details being released at the moment as police try and piece this all together. Of course, we'll bring you updates as soon as we learn more. And a unique case out of Connorsville. This morning, police are actually doing a security check at a bank downtown where an officer heard a man crying for help.
He ended up finding a man stuck in a sewer grate. He's 35-year-old Jeffrey Reichert. He told the officer finally that he had been in the city's storm sewer system for 3 days. He told the police officer that he was trying to hide from his probation officer, and people are like, well, how did he get stuck? He went in a different area, was underneath the city center walking, and then as he tried to get out through that, his shoulders were too wide and he got stuck.
And for 3 days he had been there.
That's what he thinks, yeah. Still ahead this morning, March Madness, it's almost here, and one Indy mascot is celebrating by becoming the mayor.
Coming up next, we are talking to Butler Blue and his handler on just how busy Blue will be this tournament.
The Indy 500 still months away. One driver getting ready to get behind the wheel in style. We're going to look at Connor Daly's new hairdo or hair don't, and a little bit more on the man behind the hairspray.